Good Thursday afternoon to you all out there today. You're watching the Kaiser Report. I'm John. I'm coming to you today with a few bits of pieces of news and whatever, and to show off my new Kaiser Report hat, which you can own as well. Just email us and we'll give you the information on it. We'll have some T-shirts coming up, and of course, we'll have these hats available to you with your choice of color print on them as well. So with that said, let's get into the report today that has us wondering what's going on with regard to our government and our refusal to close down the border and to get hold of the crime that is going on. If you look at New York City today, they have deployed into the subways National Guard as well as state police because there has been so many beatings and crimes taking place on the subway that the New York City Police Department can't handle it on its own. So the governor yesterday announced that she was sending in the National Guard to the platforms to make sure that the bags are checked and things of that nature are going on. And I'm sure that's going to cause some problems because New Yorkers, me being an ex-New Yorker, will tell you the last thing you want to do when you're on the route of the dashing commuter is to stop and have somebody go through your bags. Because you're usually running late for work at that particular point, and it will aggravate the hell out of most New Yorkers. But this needs to be done because the amount of immigrants and refugees and do-badders that are in the subway system anymore are scary for some people, and you need to be aware of yourself at all times, your surroundings, and the people that are in that car with you. Size them up when you get in, and don't talk back, and try to avoid confrontation is all my best advice to you. And I traveled on that subway every day to go to school in high school, and it wasn't really pleasant then, but we had some presence of the transit police there that kept things in fair control. And if you weren't being a jerk, you could probably get by unscathed. But it's not that way anymore. And people are looking for alternatives. And that said, we'll go to the news today. A North Carolina schools chief loses the Republican primary to a homeschooling parent who was critical of the radical agendas being put forth by the school systems. So there you go. That's an opportunity for a superintendent to lose a primary to a homeschooling parent because of these radical agendas. Should be a lesson learned to some of these school boards around the country today. We'll see where that goes, but not a whole lot more on that. The Democratic fear of Trump winning in 2024 has the Democrats pleading with Biden to open his eyes and take a look around and see what's really going on. Whether or not that's a capable thing on his part, I don't know, but we would hope that something will come along, soon. We may hear about it in tonight's State of the Union address, which I'm not really looking forward to watching, but I feel that I need to watch it to understand the other side and the reaction of our do-nothing Congress members and Senates that will be sitting there, along with SCOTUS and SCOTUS is being maligned on MSNBC by Rachel Maddow on a daily basis now over their decision. But what she fails to report to you all is that it was a unanimous decision, and we do have left-leaning justices on that court, and it was unanimous 9-0. So What is Rachel's problem other than her hate boiling over for one man who is running for a position as president of the United States and should be treated with the respect deserving of that accomplishment that he's already proven that he could make? But MSNBC is MSNBC, and they seem to be wanting to go the way of CNN, which is viewership is down in the toilet right now, and I guess that they're aiming for the same spot. But Rachel Maddow doesn't know what she's talking about, and she's just carrying a party line, and we're not sure why, other than hate in her heart for the man that's running for office against her chosen president. So that's enough of that nonsense. Let me talk to you all just briefly about getting ready for what can happen. You need to start to stockpile some canned goods and things of that nature, and have a few months' worth of things on hand. Get to the dollar store. You don't have to buy name brand things, but keep them on the shelf so you can sustain yourself through a period of not having groceries on the shelf. That, coupled with the fact that if you put in a garden and can this year, you'll have fresh vegetables all year long. So we need to look at that. It's becoming more and more important that you prepare for the worst, and if the worst doesn't come, then we're still prepared to help out food pantries and things of that nature in the future. And also, you want to have things on hand because your neighbor who is not prepared could be out of food and looking to help themselves stay alive, and you'll have canned goods that you can share with these people and be a benefit to these people. So start thinking about laying away some things, and take a look at your local food banks and see what they need, because it's an important fact for some people that are not going to be prepared. And when they're out of food and starving, they're going to come to you for help and assistance. And I think we should be prepared in some cases to give that. You're not going to be able to fend off half the population of your town that is coming to your door because they think you have food. But if you have enough to help out your friends and neighbors, that's what this is all about. I'd prepare for the worst and hope for the best, and that's the way I'm looking at things. I personally have put away some meals that they'll have a 20-year shelf life on them, so I feel good about that. We have some canned goods put away, and of course, our family does some canning and making of preserves and things of that nature here that we have jarred and ready to go. That, along with pickles and things of that nature, that are and peaches and apples and dehydrated things that can be rehydrated, such as mushrooms and peppers. Anyway, that, and stay healthy. Stay away from processed foods if you can. I guess there's a flap going on with something to do with what happened with Doritos, and I'm not sure. I heard Patera on the Appalachian Homestead this morning talking about Doritos and something going on there, and I guess they're owned by PepsiCo, and there's been something to do with children, and I'm not sure what that's all about. But please, in the comments below, if you can help me out with that, let me know what's going on with Doritos. I personally don't shop for Doritos. I don't care for the taste of them. It's not a problem, but I don't know what the boycott is or what happened. So if you can let me know in the comments your thoughts on that, I'd appreciate it. Other than that, there's not a whole lot going on. We're waiting with bated breath to the State of the Union tonight to hear all of, the great accomplishments that the Biden administration and Bidenomics has brought to us. Well, that said, you can take a walk through any grocery store and understand that Bidenomics is not working. The interest rates on buying an automobile or a home are outrageous now and only going to get worse because there's not going to be any drop in the interest rates, according to the Fed, for the rest of this quarter at least, and probably not for the second and third quarter of this year. It's almost impossible. And if you're using the stock market as a barometer, you probably shouldn't be doing that because that's being manipulated, I believe, in some fashions that are not good. And, they're pushing Bitcoin again. And I personally would not own Bitcoin. I don't like it. I think it's buying air. But you're all entitled to your own opinions and your own way that you spend your hard-earned dollars. So if you like it, go for it. But I would be extremely worried about nothing behind it solidly backing it at this particular point that I can see anyway. And again, if you have comments on this, you're welcome to hit the comment below and let me know your thoughts on this. I'd like to know what you're thinking. Tomorrow we have a interview going to be taking place with Southeastern Properties here in Bristol, Virginia, and we'll get the scoop on what's going on in the realtors market here in Southwest Virginia, East Tennessee, and surrounding areas here. Because if we listen to Dan and I allegedly with the West Coast business and what's going on in real estate right now, it is not a very good situation to be looking at. But I think that we have a different marketplace here, and that's what I'm going for. And I'm going to sit down with Miss Ferran tomorrow, and we're going to find out what's really happening in this particular market for real estate, rather than listening to the West Coast problems that they're having with repossessions and foreclosures and people not paying their mortgage, not being able to sell their homes because of the price increases on homes, the price increases on homeowners insurance, and property insurance has gone through the roof. And in some cases in California, these insurance companies are refusing to write new policies. So if you're buying a new home or buying a pre-existing home and you're going into this thinking that you're going to have homeowners insurance, which is required, you may be in for a small surprise when you find out that they don't want to insure it, or if they do insure it, it will be for an astronomical payment on a yearly basis for you. So we're looking forward to meeting with her tomorrow and getting the skinning on what's going on here in the real estate market. And we're meeting with one of the best houses around to talk to. So they have 30-some years in this business and understand it top to bottom. So we'll get a true estimate on what's really happening in the home market here on the eastern side of the United States. She has told me briefly that there are a lot of people moving in from certain states like California, New York, New Jersey, and high tax areas in Massachusetts. There's quite a few. We hope that they don't bring the blue state problems with them when they come, but I think that the market is fairly vibrant here right now, and we'll find this out tomorrow. So I don't want to give too much away of what my thoughts are, because we're going to get it directly from the horse's mouth. And I hope you're all having a great day and looking forward to a great weekend coming up after tomorrow. We're going to have a little rain on Saturday, but pretty good weather. It's holding pretty steady in the 60-degree and 70-degree area here in East Tennessee. And hopefully it'll stay warm for the weekend so I can get out and get some farm work done and get ready for planting season. And it's coming upon us, and it's coming upon us quickly. And I wish we had more time to get more stuff planted, but it's too early because we can still get a good freeze here. And I worry about our orchards, but it looks like we're going to escape without a really bad freeze again for the rest of this month anyway, from what I look at. And I hope you're all enjoying decent weather as well. So remember, be prepared rather than not be prepared. And if you feel that you need to protect what you own, there are ways of doing that. And there are non-lethal ways. And then there's the fact that a lot of people are, the gun sales in the United States are at an all-time high right now. And I'm sure some of that is nervousness to what Biden is going to pull on the Second Amendment, but we're not sure. But I'm sure that a lot of people are now visualizing and getting a visual on what's really happening with the people that are invading this country, and the possibility that we have some bad people that are running around and have been provided transportation to your town, and you may want to protect that. So my advice to you is you don't need, massive weapons, but you need something to protect you and yours. And however you want to do that would be a personal choice, not a choice for me to dictate to you. But a shotgun or a handgun is not something that can be viewed lightly. I urge everyone that is thinking about purchasing a weapon for the first time that you don't have experience with to do it at a place that has a range and an instructor so you can learn properly. And then when you get that gun home, make sure that it's under lock and key or someplace where children can't have access to it, especially in this day and age where a lot of thefts of weapons are happening. So protect yourself, and then protect the goods that you're buying to protect yourself to avoid any unforeseen problems. So we live in the greatest country in the world. We have some problems going on right now, and these problems are all fixable, as well as what's going on in and around the outside world, which is the wars that are going on right now between Russia and the Ukraine. And then, of course, the Israeli with the Hezbollah and Hamas. And then we have the Houthi rebels that are still firing missiles at merchant ships and causing problems in the Red Sea. These things are all negotiable. And they're all part of sitting down with another human being that's in charge of that particular incident and working out a solution to that problem, not feeding the problem or pouring gas on an already lit fire. That's a recipe for an explosion, and we don't need that right now. We need peace in this world. We need God in this world, and we need to pray to God every day that our leaders can wake up tomorrow with some common sense and understanding of how to stop all of the bad things that are going on in the world today that we are supporting for whatever reason. It has to come to an end, and we have to have diplomacy and détente, and it has to be done sooner rather than later to avoid any further disruption in not only people's lifestyles, but our food sources, our immigration collapse, and things of that nature that can be dealt with. And we can fix it. But we need to have the people willing to do that are not on the gravy train to somewhere else. Because that's what we ended up with in this last administration. And we want to make sure that we get away from that. No matter what they come out and tell you, no no matter what the complicit media genre has to say about how great things are, they are not by any stretch of the means. We all have eyes and ears, and we see what's going on, and we need to fix this. And how do we fix it? We need to get the people that caused this out of office, and that's up to us in the voting booth to work out come November. And remember, don't look past the down ballot, because there is your crucial election help is right there in your down ballot. You need to get people that are got solutions, got ideas, and are not going to be in it for themselves, but for the people who hired them or voted them in to do that work. And that's the long and short of it all. But it's going to come around, and we're going to be okay. But we need to pray that we're all okay, and we need to get back to basics, get back to family, stop the woke nonsense, and stop boycotting this one and that one, because we know that foodstuffs that have been monkeyed with and use GMO stuff is not good for you. And we need to get back to the basics of growing our own food and doing the things that we need to do to take care of ourselves and our family. Processed foods are making us all ill, and the only ones that benefit from you being ill because of these things are the pharmaceutical companies that are going to come out with a pill to fix whatever ails you. And they're going to inundate you on TV with dancing idiots that are out there making it look like if you take this pill, you can be fat and still dance down the street with a whole crowd of people behind you. This is not the way pharmaceutical companies used to operate. When I was in the business, in the medical side of the business, we had detail reps that went to doctor, explaining the benefits and the drawbacks of each of these drugs, and the doctor made the decision what his patients or her patients were in need of at that particular time. Now they tell you to go tell the doctor what you want a prescription for. How is that right? I mean, let's just take the commercials that I sat through the other day. I was watching regular TV. There's a commercial every 5 minutes. You can hardly get through whatever story that's on there because it goes to a commercial. And 75 to 80% of these commercials are drug companies pushing products for everything from plaque psoriasis, which is something, how many people can have plaque psoriasis in this country to where they can afford to run these TV ads with people dancing all over the street because they can finally go out of their house because they've been hiding because they have plaque psoriasis? What kind of a nonsensical thing is that to be perpetrating on people when you know that growing up, how many people did you know that had that particular disease or any of these things that they're going on about? They're pushing Ozempic and they're pushing these things, and then, and by the way, you can even lose some weight if you take this drug. You can lose weight if you push yourself away from a table and don't overeat and don't be in a fast food drive-through line daily, twice a day. And you're going to lose some weight. You don't need to put yourself on a dangerous drug or what could be dangerous because you feel that you have to lose weight and you want to lose weight by not changing your habits that cause you to gain the weight in the first place. So we have to take a look at what's really going on. And someone, and when I say someone, it's our elected officials that need to take these pharmaceutical companies and tell them, keep your campaign money and act right. But no, we don't do that. We just give them. Nowhere else in the world can you advertise, a drug company can advertise on TV except here in the United States. What is that about? Why are they? I know they're saving money by not having detail people anymore, but you know, it's like going into, let's just take Walmart. The last time I was in Walmart, they had one checkout line open. The store was packed full of people, and they're pushing everybody through this self-service line where you check out yourself. Well, if I'm going to do that, I want a paycheck because that's what they used to pay people to do. And now you have to struggle with it, and I'll be damned if there's one time you can go through that self-checkout and not have to ring a bell to get somebody to fix something that fouled up. And it's the same thing now with the grocery stores. They're opening less and less manned lines for you to check out of and pushing you to check yourself out. I don't work for these people. They're increasing the prices on the food stuff as it is, and now they expect you to be a worker and check yourself out. For what? For no discount? For nothing else other than the fact that they don't want to hire people anymore to work, or we can't find people that want to go to work. That's more like it. What's happening? People have learned to sit at home and they can work in their pajamas with a computer and accomplish half of what they could if they were in an office environment where they belong. Not at home, half watching cartoons and sitting in your pajama bottoms while you're on a Zoom pretending that you're doing something worthwhile. Well, that was my rant for today. But please be prepared. Please stay off of processed foods. Forget the cereals and forget everything that they're telling you. You need to eat a bowl of cereal because it's going to make you feel great. Have a Snickers bar in the middle of the day and it'll pep you up. Drink 5-hour whatever to get energy back. Here's the clue. If you put yourself to sleep when the sun goes down and get up when the sun comes up, you're going to have a much better life for it. Number one, you're going to feel better, and you're not going to be falling asleep at 2 p.m. at your job that you need a 5-hour pick-me-up. We've gotten away from what really works and what we need to be great again in this country. And we will be great again in this country. This country will always be great. It'll always be home. And we need to watch who we're letting in and for what reasons we're letting them in, because it's a scary situation when the head of the FBI tells you you can expect a terrorist act in this country as a result of the immigration problems that we're suffering now. That should be a warning to us all. But whether or not we take and heed these warnings, it goes in one ear and out the other in some occasions, and it's not good. But we're going to be okay if we ourselves start to self-care and be kind to one another and stop the division in this country that is being forced upon us by media, special interest groups, and in some cases, our own government. So it has to be where we act and do things right. And that will take us through this Thursday. We'll be back with more tomorrow, especially on the State of the Union message that's coming to us tonight, which should be extremely interesting, and hopefully he'll stay awake for it. And with that, I want to say, please remember to hit the like button. Please subscribe to my channel so we can bring you more and more of this content. And I'm looking forward to the interview tomorrow, and we'll get that posted as early as possible. We're going to do a live show and bring that to you tomorrow. So with that, hit the like button, subscribe, and please share it with your friends. And until then, I'm going to get out of here and say bye-bye.